Chattanooga this week for the first time. Welcome inside Holiday Bowl for the finals of the Chattanooga Open. Hi everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt. For the last 2 weeks we've had 4 veteran players and 1 newcomer on the telecast. This week we have 5 veteran players, but our number 5 seed, Carol Norman, may well feel like a newcomer. She hasn't made a show in a year and a half. In fact, barely made this one. She ended up tied for the number 5 position with my broadcast partner, Lisa Wagner.
Pleasure to be here, Jan. Carol and I bowled a 1-game roll-off last night. She had to convert the 2-4-5 in the 10th frame. She did it. She literally fell down on the approach with relief. Here she is on the telecast.
Well, she made the show, and she's happy. I'm happy you're here. I know you're not. Sorry. But how do you think Carol feels tonight?
I think Carol is going to look at tonight's appearance as a bonus. She's going to go out there, have a good time, make good shots, hopefully advance.
Well, at the other end of the spectrum, in the number 4 position, it's her 5th show this year. That's nearly 40% of the telecasts, Kim Adler.
Kim is going through a little bit of an attitude adjustment right now. She said that she has been looking back too much. She's looking to look ahead, advance through the field.
Well, in the number 3 position, whoever wins that first match will have to take on Liz Johnson, and what an incredible 2-year start to a career, 5 titles already.
The legendary coach, Fred Borden, said that this girl has ice water in her veins, and she does. I believe him. She is always a threat.
Well, as we move up the ladder, in the number 2 position is Leanne Barrette. She's already won twice this year, looking for number 3.
Every time she's on a show, she is always looking to be comfortable on the lanes. And when she does get comfortable on the lanes, she's going to strike a lot.
Sitting at the top of the ladder, Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. She's continuing her fine form from last year. She was runner-up player of the year.
Can't say enough good things about Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. She did not even take a break from practice during our weeks off. She knows her equipment. She knows her game. She can make hand position changes. I'm looking for a good showing tonight.
Well, we'll have to wait a little while to see that showing. She'll sit in the wings. We're ready for the first match. It's Carol Norman versus Kim Adler. Carol Norman and Kim Adler ready to start this first match, the handshake. Oh, you look at it, Carol Norman. Did you see her roll her eyes like, oh my God, I have to start.
I don't know what that was, but I think she's probably going to be relieved to get this first shot over.
First shot by a year and a half on TV.
Excellent shot by Carol.
She didn't forget how to do it.
She's going to sit down right now and take a few deep breaths and try and move on.
First look at Kim Adler, 30 years old. Been a pro for 8 years. She has 8 national titles. Taking her time with her first shot. And a beauty. Kim's coming out there pretty tough today. We talked to her. She's been a little bit timid in the last few weeks, kind of looking behind instead of looking ahead, as you mentioned in the Open. She said she doesn't want that scared deer feeling that she had last week as she fell out of the telecast, leaving a 6 cone on a fill ball. She came in ready to make it this week, and she sure did.
You know, I watched her bowl last week in the position round, and I've never seen her look that nervous. Right now she's putting a little bit of tape in the ball. Probably felt like she lost it a little bit. The first shot dropped it a little bit early.
Maybe she was a little extra nervous last week because it was her husband Tommy's birthday, and she had this big plan to give him a birthday present and win the tournament. So there's Tommy Adler looking on, Kim's husband. I think that was tough for her because you always want to do well for someone in your family when it's a special occasion.
She felt awful. I knew that.
She's trying to redeem herself this week, taking advantage of making the telecast. But Carol Norman has other plans. I'll tell you what. I think this lady, you know, after a year and a half, you make a show, you have nothing to lose.
That's what I said before.
Yeah.
She's looking at this as a bonus. She said last night, everything is gravy from this point on. And
she's loving it. You know, Lisa, she mentioned last night, It was a pretty interesting match between the two of you. I have to say, I wish we had cameras there. I know at one point Carol left a pocket 7-10, as we see we're all even, and you turned around, it's like going in the 8th frame, and you go, oh, stop it, I'm too old for this. You did not want to get up there and make that shot, and you made a couple of great ones. Unfortunately, didn't carry, left a 10 pin. But Carol told us what a great help you were to her, and that's a real tribute to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much as we see Carol throwing another awesome shot. Putting the pressure on Kim early, which is a good thing to do because Kim is an excellent bowler when she is behind.
And yet, you mentioned that, but she struggled with her match play record recently, the last several events. This week, much better, 14-10.
And she said that that was great for her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people would look at maybe winning 19, 20 matches as great. She's happy with 14.
Ooh, and our first errant shot of the match, washout for Kim Adler. I want to take a quick mention as we see 5 strikes to start the match between the players. They were very challenging conditions this week, and I'm surprised to see all these strikes.
And we see Kim's ball sliding out past the point of no return. That's what we called it this week. Balls would skid down the lane a little bit too far to the right out there. Lanes were kind of touchy.
Although in the morning you could get right and play with a little bit of hold, but as they broke down, it was tough.
They broke down very quickly. What a shot by Kim, sending the head pin right around the 10. I mean, she played that perfectly. We're going to see Kim. Good positive shot at that spare. We call that a washout.
Wonderful shot by Kim.
Way to come back, Kim.
Big strike in the 4th frame for Kim. Kim trails this match. Carolyn is leading. The world's first freshwater aquarium opened in Chattanooga in 1992. Visitors marvel at the 60-foot canyon, 2 living forests, and more than 22 tanks. The Chattanooga Open is being brought to you by AMF Bowling Worldwide, the largest owner and operator of bowling centers in the world, and one of the leading makers of bowling products. AMF always means fun. By Budweiser and Bud Light, the official beers of bowling. And by MasterCard. There are some things in life money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. We're back. Carol Norman up in the 4th frame. Just took her first shot in the 4th and left a 7-pin. Good shot, hitting the pocket again.
Came in a little bit light. Splashed some pins around, but unfortunately didn't get the 7.
First TV appearance this year. In fact, as we mentioned, first TV appearance since February of '97.
And I have to tell you, Jan, I am very impressed right now by Carol Norman. I know what it's like to just, go in that drought for so long, and then when you do make it, it's like you're a rookie all over again, and things just go by too quick. But she is holding her composure.
Well, she leads by 25 pins right now because of that washout by Kim Adler. Had Carol kept striking, she would have had a chance at the MasterCard bonus, $50,000 if you see it.
Excellent shot there. Putting even more pressure on Kim Adler. Let's see how she responds. Here's a look at Carol Norman's last shot. Ooh,
She's pumped.
good reaction there. Good positive reaction.
Look at the concentration. 10 pin. The lanes were challenging, but not only that, Carrie was a little bit tough also. So the combination led for some low scoring this week, and the players that could keep it in play were the ones that made it here.
Exactly, and they said that every one of them had to be patient. They had to make sure that they had the right ball in their hands, played the right part of the lane, made their spares, waited for the strikes to come.
Okay, we mentioned what happened to Kim last week, falling out of the show. She said the last time that happened to her was Pittsburgh. She's actually in a show. She covers the spare and drew a washout in the 10th to lose the match. After that, she went on to win back-to-back titles. So she's very encouraged about this week.
And she said that who knows, if she would have continued on and won that Pittsburgh tournament, she may have had a chance at Bowl of the Year.
It made a difference because Wendy went on and won that.
That's right.
Wendy McPherson-Papanos. Kim Adler taking a re-rack. Wanting to make sure the pins are on spot. She's allowed 2.
2 per game.
That's on TV.
5 per game during the normal tournament. Not too often that we take 5 a game, but sometimes you need them. And it does make a difference.
I've noticed Kim it appears to have, she's slowed herself down this week quite a bit.
And I think that's probably due to the synthetics. Going on the synthetic surface, balls will tend to skid a little bit further as we see Kim putting 10 in the pit.
Well, Lisa, you helped Carol kind of with her demeanor, her presence, her attitude. You told her, pick those shoulders up and walk like you're a champion and things like that. She said that was so helpful to her, that you're an awesome champion, an awesome coach. Is that a big key, how you feel inside about yourself?
Absolutely. Posture is everything. When you're slumped down, you look like you're defeated, and you want to defeat yourself.
And how does she look to you tonight?
I think she looks great. I'm impressed.
Coming up light, leaving the 2-pin, and we'll see if she starts to struggle. Let's watch her, see if she still stands upright and looks confident.
I don't want to have to yell down there to her.
Right. She's not going to change balls to shoot this spare. Carol up by 25 pins. More strikes than I expected to see tonight, based on the scoring.
Yeah, the lanes started out pretty tough in the morning. That was when you could pick up some pins on the field. But they did have quite a bit of practice on it.
Ooh, and leaves a 4-pin. That was a good shot, though.
Excellent shot. Right about now, you're not quite sure how the lanes are going to be changing, how they're going to be breaking down. So that's very important just to take your time and make your spares.
Well, the competition is hot. Stay here and learn how to combat challenging lane conditions. We'll be right back. PWBA's little-known fact this week: who was the first woman to bowl back-to-back sanctioned 300 games? Do you know, Lisa?
Our very own telecast bowler, Carolyn Norman.
She was, and that was in Ardmore, Oklahoma, back in April of 1985. What a run that was for her. 26 strikes in a row, a 10-pin, then 3 strikes, then a 10-pin. That's all she left, 2 10-pins throughout 3 games.
I don't think I've ever come close to bowling back-to-back 300s. I don't know what that would feel like.
I know I haven't. Frame. She trails by, it was 24, now 14 pins after that strike.
We're going to take a look at Kim's game. You'll notice that she does have a little bit of a low backswing, but watch how she uses her legs to get the power and the speed. Strong extension through the shot. A lot of people think you get speed and power from the upper body, and most of it is from your legs.
Especially for women. I think men have a little bit more upper body strength, so they're a little more able to do it. But
Correct.
Women have to use their legs.
Correct.
Whoa, dices the 7-pin out at the last second. Tommy Adler looks on, nods his head. Okay.
She wanted that one.
Well, Carol Norman, pressure's on her now. She's up by just 4 pins. Now we'll see how she handles it. She did okay handling the pressure throughout last night. It was so tough to handle that, though, on the conditions that everything's going on.
Great shot right there. We're going to take a look at Carol's game. Classic style. You're going to look at the end here. She has a little bit of late timing. Her foot's going to get to the foul line a little bit earlier than the ball. Causes her to fall off the shot. The result? Oh boy. What an answer to Kim's triple.
She really needs to set one up here in the 9th frame. A big key shot. She needed to strike there because Kim Adler could now step up and shut her out.
And that's where we see a little bit of that late timing coming in. You did notice that she fell off the shot a little bit, fell off to the right, lost her balance. You can't throw the shot 100% that way.
Well, needs to cover the spare to stay close in this match. Keep it a close one. No problem there. So Kim Adler steps up in the 9th frame. She trails by 4 pins, but she's working on 3 strikes in a row. A strike right here would give her the lead for the first time in the match. See if she's looking ahead now. She said she really struggled with it last night, trying not to look behind her. Oh, what a shot. Doesn't get much better than that.
Had a little bit of speed on that. It's a good thing. Adrenaline is going right now. Causes you to throw it hard, but right now that is a good thing.
She leads now by 6 pins. She's working on 4 strikes, as you see there. Carol Norman, best she could shoot would be 228.
This first shot in the 10th is quite important.
This is it. She needs the first strike. Basically, the first strike would shut her out. She's working on a 224 pace. Wow. She's performing tonight. Look at these strikes. My goodness. Didn't see very many of them throughout the week, but they're here tonight. We may see someone get that MasterCard bonus.
I think it'd be wonderful.
Wouldn't it? $50,000.
That's a lot of cash. Maybe next week it can be us.
Okay. She's pretty much wrapped up the match here. Just another 10 count. Carol finishing up in 5th, 2,500. Disappointed, but I know she's happy to be there. Look at, oh well, I mean, what are you going to do?
She said it was all bonus.
Score of 233 for Kim Adler. She defeats Carol Norman. When we return, she'll take on the 96th Ebonite Rookie of the Year, Liz Johnson. Today's Ask a Pro question is one we hear often, and it comes from Kim of Summersville, South Carolina, who asks, I'd like to know how to become a pro, what to do, and how to learn more about becoming a pro. Also, do you have a website? I'll answer that second part later. But to answer Kim's first question is a lady who's cashed in 11 of 13 events this year in her first full year on tour, Kendra Cameron.
Hi, Kim. That's a very important question. Most people do want to know, and the PWBA does have an average requirement for regional members and national members, regional being 180 for 2 years, national being 190 for 2 years. I also think there's a few other important things. You're on the road quite a bit. You really need to be prepared to stay away from home, live out of a suitcase, move from hotel to hotel. It's very grueling. Bowling is really a small part of it. You know, you're only in the bowling center for half the day. You have to figure out what you're going to do for the other half the day without spending as much money or spending as little money as you can. A couple other things: bowl on as many conditions as you can. You can never be too prepared for what's out here. You run into a different condition every day. There's also new equipment coming out every day. You really need to be on top of that and learn what your bowling balls do, learn lane changes, pattern changes. You just have to basically prepare yourself just about for anything. I mean, if it's going to rain in the bowling center, be prepared for it. You know, and like I said, the best thing to do is to learn how to live on the road. I mean, you're not going to see your family every day. You're not going to see your friends every day. You will make friends out here. The ladies are great. We have a great time out here. But like I said, be prepared to be away from home.
Thanks, Kendra. And if you have a question for a PWBA member, drop us a line, care of the PWBA. The address is Ask the Pros, care of PWBA, 7171 Cherryvale Boulevard, Rockford, Illinois, 61112. We'll try to answer some of your questions on the air in our future telecasts. The question about the website is, yes, we do have one, and you can join the PWBA in cyberspace by logging on to www.pwba.com for all the tournament standings, schedules, news, and information the PWBA has to offer. That's www.pwba.com. We're back at Holiday Bowl for the Chattanooga Open here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. First look at Liz Johnson. She'll be taking on Kim Adler. Liz Johnson of Niagara Falls, New York. 24 years old, 2 years a pro, and we mentioned it before. 5 titles in 2 years. She's off and running at your record there, Lisa.
That's right. It's an awesome 2 years she's had.
Great opening shot, and again the 10-pin standing. Saw a lot of 10-pins this week when you could hit the pocket. She's going to change balls there to shoot her 10-pin.
Absolutely. It's a good idea for just about anybody. Ball's going to go much straighter. You don't run the risk of the ball hooking by the 10-pin. With the strong balls that they have out today, they hook a lot.
Kim Adler, 5th TV appearance of 1998. She's getting pretty comfortable on TV, and you can tell. You can tell by her first game.
You sure can. This lady is intense.
Great opening shot.
A lot of people think that Kim Adler, when she looks that serious, she's mean, and she's not.
Well, she defeated Carol Norman in that first match. We talked about how good she did. 233 to 216. That was our opener here. And you're right, Lisa. She's not many times, but when she's on the lanes, I don't know. I think there's a little bit of aggressiveness in her, anyway.
Not meanness.
No. Same result on 29 as Liz Johnson just had, a 10-pin. See how she's moving her wristband now to shoot that 10-pin?
Yeah, she has her wristband in a strong position. She may have it in a cupped position for the first ball, and that's to get more revolutions and more power on the ball. Now she's going to break her wrist back a little bit. It's going to take a lot of hook off the ball.
Because it's always better to shoot your spare straighter. A little easier.
Absolutely. You can make more mistakes with a ball that doesn't hook so much.
Liz Johnson stepping up in the second frame. She said pair-to-pair this week was so difficult, and finding the right ball so tough. She moved around the lane a lot, but then finally elected to stay farther right or farther out on the lane.
Liz said that the lanes this week gave her a headache.
You're right. Gave me a headache. Boy, I think they gave a lot of players a headache. Johnson covers up her spare right there. I saw the sign, just too sweet. She did some funny things over the break. What did she do? You asked her, Lisa.
I took 5 weeks off due to my tendonitis. I went and saw a doctor. He gave me a cortisone shot, and I guess I went out and did something crazy and got a tattoo. It was a little tattoo a little angel in the bowling ball, so I guess that was my crazy thing I did over summer break.
That sounds a little crazy for Liz Johnson. Absolutely.
What I did on my summer vacation.
I got a bowling tattoo, but there's an angel with it, so that's okay.
She wouldn't show it to us, though.
No, we didn't ask why. Kim Adler stepping up in the third. She leads by 1 pin. She's worked on, didn't she say, Lisa, opening up her hips?
Yes.
She's working on that?
Yeah, she bowled the entire break, didn't take any time off.
And that's what we saw happen after about 1 or 2 games this week.
Correct. The lanes changed very quick here. You're going to see her miss on the to the left of her target. Maybe got a little quick that time. She missed left. See, the ball never really went to the right. Hooked sharply in. Just about an impossible split here.
She's just going to want to take the 2 pins. Always want to take the most wood. You may need it later.
Absolutely. We know that she was going for 2, obviously, but you're going to see the lanes change pretty quick here, and the bowlers that made it to the show read those lanes quick. Patience.
She trails by 14 right now. Patience was a key. In addition to patience, I think versatility was a big key also. Being able to move around, play all different angles of the lane, change your hand positions. The players on the telecast are able to do that, as are you while you were closing the show. Well, Kim Adler and Liz Johnson will continue the battle when we return. Stay with us. We're back at the Chattanooga Open. While we were away, the ladies bowled through a couple of frames. Liz Johnson leaving 2 10-pins in the 4th and 6th, striking in the 5th. Kim Adler striking in the 5th, and then a 2-8 spare in the 6th.
Tough spare to make this week, Jen.
That's a tough spare now. 2-8 with the 7-pin.
Makes it even worse. She's going to want to hit a little bit to the right of the 2-pin, cover the 2-8, and knock it into the 7.
So she wants the ball to take out the 2 and 8, 2-pin take out the 7.
That's the ideal way.
Sometimes the 8-pin will, won't it?
Absolutely. That's the ideal way.
Very rarely see that. Just taking the 2-pin. Pin count could hurt her there. There's strip of conditioner. Again, a very challenging condition. And if you want to learn, pay attention to the pros this week. Watch how they move around the lanes and what they try to do out there. And Lisa's going to help you out with that. Kim taking a re-rack. I believe that's her first one this game. She had one in the first game. She can have 2 each game. She's up by 9 pins now. In the 7th frame, that's Kim Adler now leading. Lead change as a result of that missed spare by Liz Johnson.
Excellent shot.
Re-racks and leaves a 10-pin. How many times does that happen? You re-rack and you make a great shot and don't carry it anyway.
Well, even 10 pins, at least you know you're in the pocket. Not too many adjustments that you can make for it. You can do a couple of things. You could change your speed a little bit, change the angle of entry into the pocket. But she's just going to want to make this and go on and make a better shot on that
Leads by 8 pins. It's a close match. And I expected all the matches to be pretty close.
So did I.
Anytime the lanes are tough, usually you'll see close matches.
It was interesting all week. The top 5 positions were never determined positively the whole time.
No, not until about midnight last night when you and Carol finished your match there.
That was a long match. I told her she took 5 years off my life.
You'll be retiring sooner than you thought, huh?
She adjusted a little bit for the 2-8. Last time on that lane, the ball slid by the head pin, and then I know that she made, just a very small adjustment. Makes a good, firm shot. The ball's it's getting down the lane, and and breaking. We saw that a few frames ago too, and then I know she's got to be confused. But we saw that all week, and it's not really a big surprise.
Takes 1 pin, so the lead changes again. Kim Adler now trails by 5 pins. Liz Johnson step up in the 8th. She's taken a re-rack, apparently something on lane 30. Tough to see. Did you see anything, Lisa?
I didn't see anything, but in this position, boy, I tell you, you want to have them perfect.
And another point, sometimes a player will take a re-rack just because they don't feel quite right. They're not ready to step up.
Stall for time.
Exactly. Sure.
I've done it
No.
last night.
Wow. They're just hitting the strip, and that ball is going 60 feet.
Another tough spare, too. Liz misses a little bit left of her target, and as you said, hits that strip in the middle. And look at the ball, never picks up any revolutions.
2, 4, 5, 7, 8. I don't want to be shooting that right now. Easy to do. The ball did not drive through hard enough to take out the 5.
Watch the ball slide by, doesn't hit the 8. And that's due to the conditioner on the lane. The ball can't pick up a roll and make that left turn into the spare.
Well, Liz Johnson now trails by 6 pins, and they're both trying to give it away here. Nobody wants this match. There's a shot we've been waiting to see, and, you know, maybe they really don't want it, because if they win, they have to bowl again, right here on this same pair of lanes.
Well, I'll bet you they're wanting to advance.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
And if not, you'll jump in, won't you?
Absolutely. Yes.
Kim Adler up in the 9th. She could shut out Liz Johnson if she strikes in the 9th and gets 2 strikes in the 10th. And the small pin count, she'll shut her out. But we've only seen 3 strikes out of Kim this game so far. Good shot, though. Coming up light.
Very good shot.
And again, changing her wrist position there to shoot the 7 pin.
Kim is a very versatile player. Sometimes she takes the wristband off and never wears it the whole week. And she does that for lanes that are hooking a lot. I haven't seen her do that for a while, though.
No.
Usually she can get that wrist back in a position that's a little weaker and the ball go a lot straighter.
Right, a very versatile wristband. She's able to do that. Covers the spare up, so she steps up in the 10th frame. The best Kim Adler can shoot is 189. Liz Johnson can take it off the sheet for 193. So there's no shutout possible here. But she could sure make Liz's knees knock a little. Or maybe not with the ice water.
Make her life pretty miserable right now, especially when you don't know where the ball's going.
Kim Adler leads by 6 pins, actually. But Liz Johnson working on that strike. And again, no carry. You can relate to this. It's exactly what happened to you last night. You hit the pocket 9 times, Lisa. And very few strikes out of it.
Keep reminding me, Jan.
I'm just impressed. You made great shots. It was great to see. 2 veterans slugging it out down there.
We did have a good time.
Yeah.
I will admit that. I didn't want to lose. Didn't like losing because I'm not a real good loser. I get down on myself sometimes and I don't like it.
Covers up that spare. If she strikes here, she'd have a 178. That would force Liz Johnson to get the first strike. Liz looking down. Not even paying attention, just thinking about what she needs to do.
Sitting there taking a few good deep breaths. Slow that heart rate down. You can think much more clearly that way.
little short.
I was
Finish-
impressed by Kim's shots on that lane because she has been lost.
And had to finish there and came up with a couple of real good shots, but didn't kick out that 10-pin. Finishes with 177. Liz Johnson will need the first strike. And the 10-pin.
Boy, it's been a nemesis of many a bowler.
It has, and that's it. She cannot beat Kim Adler. Spare strike would give her 173. Well, she spares the 10-pin but loses to Kim Adler, and we'll be back with two special guests right after this. For the Chattanooga Open, Leanne Barrette versus Kim Adler. Kim Adler's been climbing the ladder. Leanne Barrette will now try to stop her as she goes for her third title of the year.
And with this bowler right here, you're going to see a completely different look of the ball. She hits the ball quite a bit.
Opening shot of beauty and a little bit more direct than she normally plays.
Yeah, I watched her in practice. Warming up for this match, and she can hook the whole lane. She can go, the scenic route, I like to call it.
Well, Kim Adler has 2 matches under her belt tonight. Before tonight, she was only 1-4 in matches on TV this year. So she's got to be happy with her performance. Her last title back in 1997, fall of last year, the Samstown Invitational. And that was a biggie.
Tough tournament to win. A lot of games, a lot of bowlers.
Ooh. A little bit of artwork out there. Coming
She was
high.
a little bit tentative. Coming back from a break, first shot. Not quite sure what to expect. What she wants to do is hit the ball, or hit the pins to the right of the 3-pin. She has to cover both pins with the ball on the right. Send them to the left.
Oh, and a great attempt. That's about as close as you can get without making it.
Well, she listens well.
Yeah. I think if you'd have told her a little sooner, she might have got it. Kim Adler down by 11 now with that open.
Pretty consistent lane to lane. It does include the open in her first frame. 6 strikes. Left lane, 5 on the right.
Rock and roll. That did not look like it was going to go down.
No, it didn't. I love those shots, though, June. That will pump her up.
Re-rack by Leanne Barrette.
Well, it must be the 5-pin. It's the only thing I can figure. A lot of times this week, we needed the 5-pin in line because it was not always a guarantee that the ball was going to get to it.
Otherwise, you'd leave maybe 5-7 or 7-pin, 8-pin, who knows.
Of course, with Leanne's ball, not getting to the 5 is usually not an option.
And another rockin' pin. This one doesn't fall. Leanne Barrette had a lot of problems the last couple of weeks with her back, and she wanted to say a special thank you to Dr. Troy Smith of A Better Choice Chiropractic. He did an outstanding job. We have chiropractors here from week to week, and he is one of the best that I've seen.
He was here all day for us.
Covers up that spare. And she's still bowling on the premise of trying to get the most she can because father's still at home ill, waiting for that transplant, lung transplant list.
And she wants to send her hellos, and I wish I was there with you, along to them.
inside again, leaving just the 10. You know, the way that ball's hitting, I'm looking at a 7-10 there. It could happen. She changes balls also.
Quite a unique looking spare ball.
It is. You can see the inside. Weight block of the ball. Okay, Kim Adler down by 10 pins now. She's stepping up in the third frame. She fought her way back in that first match.
Needs to regroup a little bit right here. And if I know Kim, I think she will.
And it looks like right now, what's going on, Lisa? 10 pins standing all over the place.
Well, the oil that was in the front part of the lane, the first 15 feet, the first 30 feet right in there, is now traveling down the lane. It's going to cause the ball to go much further down the lane before it breaks. I would say that probably a ball change right now is not out of the question.
It's a hard thing to do sometimes when you're down there, isn't it? It's easier to see from here.
Yes, it is. Last time on this lane, she was a little bit lucky. Threw it great, though. Watch this 10-pin fall forward. Look at that.
She trails by 10 pins. And that was the strike in the second frame you just saw there. And again, 10 pin.
Not much you can do about it, but you gotta stay in the pocket.
Well, and she keeps converting those spares. Breaking her wrist back. And this is what this week was all about. Shoot your spares.
Kim's a very good spare shooter, by the way.
If you notice, she stopped. She had picked up the wrong ball for a moment. Stopped herself and...
Well, it shows she's thinking.
I in fact did that this week. I threw the wrong ball at a spare.
Did you make it?
I did, but barely. She covers the spare. We're in our semifinal match here at the Chattanooga Open. Who hasn't heard of the Chattanooga Choo Choo? Well, it and much more can be seen at the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum, where you can ride the rails. We're back at the Chattanooga Open. Due to time constraints, we had to allow the players to bowl through a few frames during the commercial break. When we left, Leanne Barrette was leading by 11. She now trails by 28 pins. She had trouble on lane 30. Kim Adler has now lined up and struck twice in the 6th and 7th.
By virtue of a ball change.
Which you suggested earlier.
Well, I figured it was about time for that. You had to make large moves on the lane or go to something that was totally different.
Kim now working on the double. Can lead by 38 if she strikes. Wow.
Firm shot. Very positive. She even looked a little surprised on that one.
Kind of hit a little half pocket. I think she didn't know what she might leave. Leanne, again, trouble on lane 30. She left a 5-count washout in the 4th and then a 2-4-10 in the 6th frame.
Dropped the ball a little bit on the 6th.
She's going to have to line it up. She's working on a strike. Needs this strike right here.
Little break, tripping out the 2-pin, but the ball's still coming in very late.
On lane 30, you know, she hit the pocket on 29, but she's struggling on lane 30. Changing balls to shoot the spare. Covers it up. Lisa, you talked to Leanne earlier about why she was here, what she wanted to do for this show, and she had a special wish for someone. Here it is.
Well, I had an invitation for a very important birthday party tomorrow, and I'm not going to be able to make it. So I want to wish my niece Brittany a very happy 7th birthday, honey. I got you a little present. I miss you. I love you. Have a happy birthday.
Well, Brittany's not going to get to open the gift. She already knows what it is, but that's okay.
But you know what? On the floor, there was another present. So, Brittany, you've got something to look forward to.
You're right. And 4-pin. Unfortunately, Leanne not having the performance she hoped to have on TV.
Unfortunately, Leanne right now just doesn't know where the ball is going to break.
And she was so pleased with herself that she bowled so well this week, because tough shots sometimes aren't her forte, and she was able to bowl well and make the show. Best possible score for Leanne Barrette would be 176 at this point. Kim Adler working on 3 strikes. Commanding lead. She leads by 39 pins.
And who would have ever predicted this from the first part of the game?
Right? Yeah, it was a close match. Neither player lined up. That's what a ball change can do. That's what the game is doing to it. Equipment is a huge issue.
Kim went to looks like a different brand of ball. She went to a strong layout.
In other words, a different drilling pattern where the weight block's different inside the ball, and a different ball altogether, but a stronger pattern.
Correct.
So the ball would hook more.
Well, I think she obviously needed a little bit more roll.
Coming in light, leaving the 7-pin. Really doesn't matter at this point. Leanne finishes up in 3rd place, 3,400.
Buy a few more presents for Brittany.
She'll be waiting. Kim Adler takes down Leanne Barrette, and we'll be back to recap today's action in a moment. Stay with us. Let's recap tonight's action. In match 1, Kim Adler came out striking, sending Carolyn Norman home early, 233 to 216. In match number 2, the pace slowed down a bit. A teeter-totter match, Kim Adler ended up on top over Liz Johnson, 177 to 173. In our semifinal match, Kim Adler made a key adjustment to turn it around to defeat Leanne Barrette, 214 to 166. The no-nonsense shot of the week was really the no-nonsense change of bowling balls.
In the 5th frame, Kim Adler switched to a different bowling ball, looking for a little bit more roll. Went light on the 1st frame, made a great adjustment. Here's the first strike and a string of 3. Great shot by Kim.
That the no-nonsense shot of the day. Kim Adler now advances through the field and will challenge Carolyn Dorin-Ballard for the title next. We're ready for the championship match at the Chattanooga Open at Holiday Bowl in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Kim Adler has climbed through the field. She'll now meet Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. What a change that was for Kim last game. Huge.
Great change. It's not always easy to make a ball change and make good shots because you're not quite sure what's happening, and she did make good shots.
Opening shot of the championship match, and a great one. It's a good point, Lisa. When you make a change, you have to make a good shot. Here's our first look at Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, 34 years old yesterday, pro for 8 years from North Richland Hills, Texas. Tournament leader, and she did it all this week. All over the lane, changing equipment, making moves with her hand position.
Said she used 3 hand positions this week. And she is that talented that she can do it and win doing it.
Big opening shot for her. Meryl Eichstein, the president of Chattanooga Sports Committee. On hand here for the big event. It's really been a great week. As I said, first time in Chattanooga. We want to thank them for everything they've done for us here. Meryl and also Melvin Gilliland, the proprietor here at the bowling center.
We could not have had a better week, Jan. They were so helpful. They could not do enough for us.
Carolyn defeated Kim earlier in match play. Coming up light on 29.
A little bit hard. Carolyn does have to keep the ball, the speed a little bit slower. She has a very high roll, and when you have a high roll, you either got to have a lot of revolutions or just, get back on the speed a little bit for it to hook.
That's something she's been working on changing her roll a bit.
Said that she made a couple of timing changes and body position changes during the break.
She worked with David Garber and Dorin-Ballard. Also, out of the clinic, she worked with Brian herself. And there is Melvin Gilliland, the general manager of Holiday Bowl. First thing he said when I walked in the door was, "Let me know if I can do anything."
And they did. I think he's probably been here about 150 hours this week.
Jumping high, leaving the 4-7-10. Let's look at some of the other finishers. Lisa Wagner, never lower than 6 the entire week. Kathy Doran, a great week, fell out in the final game.
Michelle Feldman in 11th, the only 300 on television.
Kim shoots at the 4-7-10. Taking the 2 pins. Important she's on a strike. Finishing up in 14th. Lil Johnson, it's her best finish this year. The only lefty to make the cut, Dana, finishing up in 16th. That's Dana Miller-Mackey.
And in 19th, I call her the wonder from down under in Australia. Average and points leader, Carol Giannotti Block. Tori Romeo, Robin Romeo Masanti's sister.
Michelle Frank, she made her first show 2 weeks ago. Tammy Turner, 24th, she had to withdraw due to an injury, and not her back, folks. It was her fingers. A cut to the fingers.
Good to hear that it was not her back.
Kim right back on it with a strike. It gave Carolyn an early opening. Carolyn leads by 12 pins. We mentioned the things she worked on. I quickly mentioned Brian Purcell. He worked with her. She flew into Canada for 1 day before this tournament for a trade show. So everything she worked on, she felt was very beneficial this week. Third to the appearance this year, already won title. See her making a motion with her hand.
Takes Carolyn a little bit of time to get loosened up and get those nerves calmed down. Look at the extension. She's helping it. She knows she didn't make a real good shot there. I think she probably came over the top of the ball a little bit, just didn't get the positive roll on it.
Shooting 2-4-5. Covers it nicely, changes ball, shoots straight at it.
That was by far the best way to shoot that spare this week.
She leads now by 9 pins due to that 7 count. She wanted to mention that Dorin-Ballard, her husband, was a big help this week with her attitude. He told her, you've got to calm down. You're putting way too much pressure on yourself. And she said that was huge for her.
Well, Carolyn just eats, sleeps, and drinks bowling. And sometimes I think, it gets to be a little bit much for her, and she gets a little tired.
That was a better shot.
Much better. She has to be happy about that. The best thing to do, just take your time, make the spare, make good shots, which 99% of the time she does. She is an excellent shot maker.
And that's because she practices so much, really. I mean, if you practice something enough, you've got to become good at it.
This girl could hit a dime at 40 feet 9 of 10 times. Not a problem.
Covers the spare, leads by 8 pins. Bill Hawk, the proprietor here at Holiday Bowl. He was on hand for match play. I spoke with him last night. Again, it really was a great week here. Every week. I mean, people have been so hospitable. They brought in lunch for us the first day of qualifying here.
Good food, too.
Wonderful food.
I believe the senior organization
Right.
in the local area here cooked for us. Good home cooking.
Dices the rack there for a double.
Sawed the 5 right into the 7.
Change a lead. That gives Kim Adler the lead by 2 pins. We had caddies most of the week that helped the players out.
They are a big help. A lot of times it's the junior bowlers in the area that volunteer their time and they come out and they learn a lot about bowling.
Ooh, and leaving that 10 pin again. Makes it a 1-pin match. It's going to be a tight one. Changing her ball. Taking a lot of time, Lisa, there. She's wiping her ball every time. Wiping the conditioner off. Is that...
Good idea to do that, especially on synthetics when the ball will tend to scoot down the lane a little bit quicker than you're used to. You take the oil off, you get a fresh surface.
Kim Adler spares the 10 pin and leads by 1 pin in our championship match. Home to the 1996 Olympic kayaking events, the Ocoee River is approximately 35 miles from Chattanooga and a treat for whitewater rafting fans. We're back in the championship match of the Chattanooga Open. Kim Adler leads by 2 pins. We bowled through 2 frames.
This is the last frame for Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. Look at her. She fell off the shot a little bit. I think she's stuck. But look at this. Listen to her.
Yes, baby.
I'll take it, even though she knew it wasn't her best shot. She took it. Kim live right now, leaving the 4-9. She had struck in the 6th frame, and now a 4-9.
An incredibly bad break for Kim. Ball just drove a little bit too hard. Anytime you leave a 4-9, you can make this by sliding the 4 pin over into the 9. Not an easy spare.
She's on a strike. Does she want to go for 1 pin here or go for the spare?
I think she's going to go for the spare.
Hard to tell, but takes 1 pin at least so she doesn't lose 2 pins in pin count. She now trails by 10 pins. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, new leader. Working on a strike, she can take it to 20 with another strike here.
And Carolyn is good at taking advantage of a situation like this. Max score 235.
She could take it off the sheet for 245 if she continues to strike.
Come on. Hit it.
It's coming light. She's just not quite getting that little finish at the end. But again, a different attitude. You talked to her about it. We both did last night. She went into this week saying, I'm going for the pocket. I'm not necessarily throwing the ball that's going to strike the most.
Correct, and that was the strategy for all week. Because if you lost the pocket, if you fooled around too much and you lost the pocket, you could leave anything.
Let it roll, let it roll. Nice there is what she's going to try to do. Of course, she's trying to strike, but again, many of the players did that. Lisa, I don't know, did you do that throughout this week? Go with a ball that kept you out of trouble?
Yes. Because you can leave things that you can make that way. It's not a bad idea for every bowler to do that. If you know that you have a great shot out there and that you can strike a lot, then go for it. But when you're not quite sure where the ball's going, then it's a good idea just to hit the pocket.
That's a hard lesson to learn and a hard decision to make when you're out there on the lanes.
Come on, come on. Hit it! Fall!
Ooh, a break. Says give me a break, but I think she got one. The 2-pin fell out at least.
You're going to see the pin action. So 2-pin falling late left herself with a much easier spare than the 2-8 would have been.
Of course, she was trying to coax it down, but she'll be happy to take this 9 spare. She still leads by 9 pins. She's laughing at that. Kim Adler stepping up in the 8th, trailing by 9, and needs to start something here.
215, max score for Kim Adler. She needs to regroup a little bit after the 4-9.
Kim could take it off the sheet and shut out Carolyn before that shot. Now can't. And again, adjusting her wrist position to shoot this spare. It's going to be a battle to the end.
Absolutely, and I knew it would be. These are two great shot makers right here. You know it's going to be close.
Probably 2 of the most versatile, I think, on tour also. There are many who are, but they're among the tops.
That's why they're 1-2.
Converts the spare. Going to step up in the 9th frame, and she still trails by 9 pins. Best she could shoot now would be 205. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard can take it off the sheet for 214. Kim going for her first title this year. She has a 7-1 record in championship matches. Winning percentage in a championship match is 87.5%.
Ball coming in a little bit weak. And this is what happened all week.
Tommy looking on. Saying, God, need those to fall.
Watch the 6-pin just kind of lay down in the channel. Didn't kick up, knocked the 10 out.
Covers it up and now sits down to watch Carolyn Dorin-Ballard finish her match. Carolyn can shut out Kim Adler. She can take it off the sheet for 214. Best Kim Adler now can shoot is 194. Carolyn can double here and shut out Kim.
She is yelling down there at those pins. And usually when Carolyn yells, people listen. So are the pins.
Carolyn is 0-2 on television career versus Kim Adler. She's looking to turn it around right here and right now.
I can't believe it.
What a horrible break. Oh, she needs to get one of these pins here. She needs to regroup and get a pin.
Got a little quick. Came up off the foul line. Oh boy, what a bad break that was.
Wow, and that's huge. She was on a strike. It cost her 2 pins. Final score of 182 for Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. Kim Adler's going to need a strike or 9 spare strike.
She's laughing about it though.
Well, what can she do? She put it in the pocket, expecting, as she did all week, to at least get 9.
I was having a tough game this week, and I looked at Dana Miller-Mackey and I go, what can I do? And she looked at me and said, nothing.
That's exactly right. Kim Adler leaving that half 10 pin. Now with 163 in the ninth, a spare strike would win it for Kim by 1 pin. Spare 9, Lisa.
Oh, don't do this to me.
We could have a tie.
I get nervous for them up here.
Down to business first. She has to spare. No trouble, and Carolyn Dorin-Ballard can only sit back and watch as Kim Adler makes the shot for the title. Strike a win, 9's a tie, and anything less, Kim Adler would go down to defeat to Carolyn Dorin-Ballard.
42 games, 4 matches, it all comes down to 1 ball.
I'm looking down at Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. She's looking at the floor. She doesn't want to watch, but I'm willing to bet she looks up. Strikes to beat Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. She's the victor here at the Chattanooga Open. Stay with us. We'll be back to talk with her in a moment. The Chattanooga Open is being brought to you by AMF Bowling Worldwide, the largest owner and operator of bowling centers in the world and one of the leading makers of bowling products. AMF always means fun. By Budweiser and Bud Light, the official beers of bowling. And by MasterCard. There are some things in life money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. There's your champion of the Chattanooga Open. Final score 183 to 182. It's Kim Adler. And here to present the check, Merrill Eckstein of the Chattanooga Sports Committee.
Kim, on behalf of the City of Chattanooga and the Sports Committee, our congratulations. Here's a little check for you. We sure enjoyed your performance tonight and look forward to having the PWBA back here in 1999. Congratulations.
And Melvin Gilliland, the general manager of Holiday Bowl, is coming here to present a beautiful trophy.
Kim, we'd like to present you this for the first Chattanooga Open. Hopefully there's many more.
Thank you. I would like to thank Holiday Bowl and the wonderful city of Chattanooga for hosting our tournament this year. I'd also like to thank Jim Callahan and Hammer Bowling Balls for really helping me a lot this week. And this one is dedicated to my family. For those that are here and for those who aren't here, everyone has supported me a great deal, and this is for them. Thank you.
Congratulations, Lisa Wagner. Question for Kim?
Kim, you made the move of the week. Tell us about the ball change.
Well, I obviously tried to move a little left, and there was a lot of oil, so I decided to just stay in the same place as I was all night, and I had to change balls to do that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful showing, Kim Adler. Congratulations. That wraps up the Chattanooga Open. For Lisa Wagner, I'm Jan Schmidt. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the telecast. The roadshow continues as we move to Louisville, Kentucky. Be sure to tune in next week for the Lady of the Night Classic from Executive Bowl in Louisville, Kentucky. Championship action will be Thursday, August 13th at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.